pets, it's very sad, Chinese New Year, humans enjoy themselves, they go back and the pets are left in the porch, so it's kind of sad. So you could think of doing this kind of things also. It's a form of dana, a form of charity. Okay? Then on the 8th day, Hokkiens, they celebrate this. Is it the 8th day? 8th night, right? Yeah, Pai Ting Kong. Okay. The legend of this is, the Hokkiens would know, right? Okay, who's a Hokkien here? What is the legend? Do you know the legend? Not too sure. Okay, this is one, Chinese legends, there are so many versions, right? There's so many versions. This is one version that I heard. The Hokkiens were being chased, were being pursued by, I think, the Mongols, not very sure. And all because of a misunderstood word, all because of one word. You know what word that is? The Hokkien word lang. Lang means human, people. So Hokkiens use lang as a person, But for the Mongols, that tribe, lang is a very bad word. It's a word for scolding people. It's a very, very bad word. So the Hokkiens didn't know. So when the Mongols came, they say lang, lang, lang. They use lang, 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 and the Mongols, for them, it's a very bad word. It's a very rude word. So they got very angry and they wanted to kill the Hokkiens. So the Hokkiens had to run and hide. So where did they hide? In the bamboo grove. Yeah, they hid in the... Yeah. Oh, yeah, sorry, sugar cane. Yes. I'm not Hokkien, so I'm a Cantonese. Sugar cane grove, yes, they hid there. So, and they said they had the help of Tian Gong. Who is Tian Gong in the Buddhist cosmology? Is Saka. Saka, the king of the 33 heavens, Saka is actually Saka. So this is to pay homage to Saka. So it's just to remember that legend, what happened to the Hokkiens. So the Hokkiens do this, alright? So how many of you still celebrate this? Yeah. So it's part of tradition as a Hokkien, so you still do it. But then if you do it with understanding, you're just paying homage to Saka. That's it. So there's absolutely no harm. You're paying homage to the king of the Devas. For saving your ancestors last time. So do it with understanding, then we know what we're doing. Okay? Then of course Chinese New Year ends with this Chap Gome, and nowadays nobody throws oranges anymore. Yeah, it's a wastage of food. After 15 days, Chinese New Year ends. Right. The next major festival will be Qingming. Yeah? The next major festival after Chinese New Year is Qingming. Now, during Qingming, one of the practices that the Buddhist Mahavihara is trying to get people to stop doing is all this burning, because it's very environmental unfriendly. It really, really pollutes the air. If you go to the cemetery on Qingming Day, you see it's all smoky, isn't it? And it's very, very unhealthy. So they are actually encouraging people to stop burning all these paper. You can do other things, of course. You can clean the grave, you can make offerings of fruit and vegetables or vegetarian dishes and so on. All those things you can continue, but they are encouraging people to please stop burning, because it pollutes the environment. Right? So that's one thing that we may want to do also, stop burning all these papers and so on. Because from the Buddhist point of view, it's just a practice, it's a Chinese practice. So the Buddhist point of view, there is no value at all in burning all these papers. Right? So you may want to stop this. Then when you make offerings, during the Buddha's time, the Buddha actually encouraged the Indian people to continue giving food offerings. Food offerings is part of the Asian cultures. Many of the Asian cultures offer food to their ancestors, to their departed ones. Again, I explained already the previous talk why they offer food. The reason is food is something that's valuable. It's valuable to us. So when we offer to our ancestors, we also offer something that's valuable. So what do people have at that time? They have food. So that's why they offer food. So the Buddha says, you want to continue offering food, you can. Okay, as a symbol of respect. In filial piety, we offer food, something that's valuable to us, so we offer to our ancestors as well. So if you want to offer food here, there's one item here which you shouldn't offer, and that's meat again. Okay? Because if you slaughter meat for the sake of your ancestors, so it's like breaking the first precept, killing for the sake of your ancestor. So as a Buddhist, offer vegetarian dishes, offer all the kueh and so on, fruits and vegetables, that's fine. Okay, so food offerings, if you want to do it, you can continue doing it. Because during the Buddha's time also, he allowed the people to continue doing it. Okay, then of course the most effective way to honor your departed relatives, and to help them is to share and transfer merits. So during Qingbing also you can share and transfer merits, whether it's at the grave or in your home or whatever. Okay, this is the most Buddhistic thing we can do for our departed friends and relatives. Share and transfer merits. So previous talk also I explained about sharing and transfer merits. Yeah? Remember? Those who are in the ghost realm will benefit the most. Okay? So the next festival we're going to talk about is the Hungry Ghost Festival. So I'll talk about it more there, about sharing and transferring merits. Alright? Now the next major festival for the Chinese will be the Hungry Ghost Festival, which is in the 7th month. And the Hungry Ghost Festival actually did not originate from the time of the Buddha. It was already in China many years, decades, maybe even hundreds of years before Buddhism went to China. The Hungry Ghost Festival is already part of the Chinese culture, has already been there all this while. Alright? So it did not originate from the time of the Buddha, but it has caught on somehow, and it is normally related to this festival called the Ulambana Festival. Ulambana is a Sanskrit word that means rescuing those who are hanging upside down. So who are those who are hanging upside down? Those who are suffering. Those who are suffering. Okay, so Ulambana means to rescue those who are hanging upside down. And the Ulambana festival is celebrated in many countries in Asia, like Cambodia, Vietnam, Thailand, Laos, a lot of Buddhist countries, even Sri Lanka. Okay? And our Hungry Ghost Festival is sort of linked to this Ulambana festival. And the Ulambana festival originates from a very much later text in the Mahayana scriptures. It's called the Shurangama Sutta. And in the Shurangama Sutra, there is this story of Mahamaugliana. They call it Mahamaugliana. Some people think that it's Moggallana. You know, during the Buddha's time, the two chief disciples, Sariputta and Moggallana. So some people relate it to Moggallana. So I remember asking our late chief whether it was Moggallana or not. Late chief says it's probably not Moggallana. This is just a story that's found in the Shurangama Sutra. But as with all stories, whether it's true or not, whether it is just a legend or not, we can always learn something from it. So let's listen to the story of Mahamaugliana, or the Chinese version is Moklin. If you've heard of Moklin Gao Mo, have you heard of the Chinese legend Moklin Gao Mo? They are all from the same text. They are all from here. So as legends, you know, a lot of versions. You got the Chinese version, you got the Sanskrit version, and so on. So I'll tell you the Sanskrit version based on the Shurangama Sutra. So other legends may have slight variations. So Mahamaugliana was known to be one of the Buddha's chief disciples, and he had this psychic power. His mother had just passed away, and he could see with his psychic eyes where his mother had landed. So the mother had landed in a suffering realm, probably the Hungry Ghost realm. From the description, it's probably the Hungry Ghost realm. So the mother had landed there, and the mother was suffering. So Mahamaugliana was a very filial son. So as a monk, he wanted to do something for his mother. So what can he do? So using his psychic powers, he appeared before his mother. He made himself appear before his mother and saw his mother suffering. So his mother was born in that hungry ghost or suffering realm for several reasons. One is the mother was very greedy as a person last time. As a human, the mother was very greedy. And the story goes that the mother used to love to eat fish roe. Fish roe, as you know, are fish eggs. Okay? And when people eat fish roe, they eat by the hundreds or thousands. Fish roe is so small. It means you're killing so much. That's what the legend says. She used to love to eat fish roe. And she was also very stingy, and she never did any dana. Extremely stingy person. So Mahamaugliana appeared before the mother and said, "How can I help you? You got to do some dana." Okay? So he gave her some food, hoping that she would at least share the food with the other hungry ghosts, or offer the food back to him as an offering to the monk. But what the mother did was, the mother saw the food, the mother quickly ran to the corner and took the food and hid the food, covered with her hand, so that she alone would get to eat it. That's her habitual tendency, because as a human also she was like that. She was very greedy. She never did any dana. So the lesson there for us is, whatever habitual tendencies we have now, in our next life, we probably continue, because it's so strongly ingrained. Alright? So since